Hey friends, let me straighten you up a bit. Oh, can I? No. Anyway, guys, I thought we could have a catch up, and I'm sorry for not doing a video yesterday being Wednesday. It has been the most stressful couple of weeks, and I was working yesterday until really late and I hadn't done a video, and I thought I didn't have it in me to make one. I was so tired. So I thought, right, it's really early in the morning right now. So I thought, okay, I'll come back early in the morning and make a video. And I'm going to talk about something, because I had a comment the other day and I thought I'll read out that comment, because I don't think it was meant to be kind, but we're going to take it that way. And I thought we could talk about how we all change as we get older, and that's what this comment's about. This particular comment is accusing me of having changed over the years, not from a personality point of view, but from a looks point of view. It always comes down to looks, doesn't it? Anyway, I want to go through that and actually talk to you about, you're right, I have changed, and I want to talk about all the ways I've changed, but I would actually love to get your input on this as well. So as you're watching, let me know. Let me know about you. Have you changed over the years? Do you feel like a slightly different person to who you were over 10 years ago? Because this person is comparing me to the person I was over 10 years ago. So we'll go through that. But hang on. This tripod is annoying me. It's going to fall off. It's going to fall off. Hang on. There we go. Before we get started, can I show you these cute shoes that I ordered? Look at these. Okay, so look at the laces. They've got like little flowers on them. So it's like a doubled up lace. Well, actually it's triple. So you have this thinner lace that does up the shoe, but then these this satin one and then the floral one, they're more decorative. And look at the actual shoe itself. It's got like flowers through it, but it's mesh. It's like see-through. And I ordered them. They turned up yesterday. And I can't stop looking at them. I mean, it's way too cold to wear these just yet. It's actually freezing in the UK at the moment. Like, the sun is out today, but it's cold. But I'm excited to wear these. So I got these from VIVAIA. And I did use my own coupon code that they gave me. So I did a video with them a couple of weeks ago, and they gave me a coupon code. I don't profit from that coupon code, but I normally use them myself to get a few bits, and this is part of a new collaboration with, I don't know who the collaboration is with, but they've got a collaboration on, and it's all floral and botanical themed, and they've got some nice shoes in the collection. So if you like the print, this isn't an ad, by the way, this is me spending my own money. If you like the print but you don't like the shoe style, go and check out their other shoes, because they've got quite a lot going on. Anyway, let's get on to this comment. Here is the comment. I started following Sophie when she started her YouTube channel. She looked so much like my daughter. My daughter still looks the same. Sophie has changed so much. They no longer look alike. Okay, so I got this comment, and it was really weird because the comment flashed up on my phone, but then YouTube immediately put it into my spam folder, and I don't know why it did it. I have to go through that spam folder a lot and like hook out your messages that are not spam. I don't know why they're in there, but anyway, I tried to free up this message and YouTube wouldn't let it out, and it kept putting it back in spam. So that message currently lives in spam. But I thought this is an interesting topic. Let's talk about this. Now, to kind of get onto that message, what I will say is this person probably looks at their daughter more frequently than they look at me. So their daughter won't have aged to the degree that I have over the years. Because it's like, you know, if I haven't seen someone for a couple of years and then I see them, of course they're going to look older than I remember them looking. Whereas when I'm seeing someone daily, weekly, I don't notice them aging. I also think as well, I do find on YouTube that I get people who will go and watch a video from 2012 or even 2016, and then they'll come and watch me now and go, oh my God, you've changed, you don't look the same. And it's like, well, of course, because that was like over 10 years ago. So of course I've changed. But I thought, let's go through all the ways that I really see that I have changed. And again, I would love to get your thoughts on how you have also changed. The first thing is my tastes, my personal taste. This has been like a real big thing for me. I think when we talk about change, there's not just the aesthetic, the looks side of things, but there's from like a more personal level, there are things that change. So I used to be a really big logo person. I still like a logo, but not to the degree that I used to. And I don't know what happened. It kind of kicked in a couple of years ago, whereby I think from a security point of view, I didn't feel comfortable using a bag that had a big logo across the front of it. But it also started to feel a little bit crass to me. Give an example, the Dior book tote, which is currently behind you on the floor. I used to use that for the gym all the time because it's, and for travel actually, because it's quite a handy bag. And then I got to a point where I thought, oh God, this oblique pattern and the big logo across the front, it made me feel like a bit of a fool, like a bit of a try-hard is how it made me feel, if I'm going to be really honest. And it put me off using it. And then I switched now to a gym bag that's from VIVAIA, ironically. And it's a little bag that's got a B on the front of it. And then on the back, it's got happy. So it's like be happy. And it's just a cute little tote bag, and I can chuck it in the washing machine. I get left alone with it. I can leave it. I don't have to put it in a locker. I can leave it in the gym and just chuck my coat over the top of it and no one disturbs it. And I keep like my AirPods in it and some makeup and whatever I keep in there. And I don't feel the way I used to feel when I used to use the Dior book tote. And at first, when I first got that bag, I loved it and whatever. But then the longer I had it and the more I just would use it and people would look at you with it. And I don't know whether they'd always look at you in a good way or not. And I just kind of went off it. And that was when, do you remember when I bought the Picotine? And that was last February 2025. And I couldn't believe that that bag had caught my eye, to be honest, because there's no visible logo on it. And, you know, it's not a bag I ever really liked. And I certainly don't really like Hermes. But I saw that bag on the Luxury Promise website, and I saw it in January, end of December, January. And I kept going back and refreshing the page because I thought that's going to sell out. But there was something about it. It was like haunting my dreams. And I always do like at least a 3-week rule, where if there's something I really want, I will leave it 3 weeks before I go ahead and buy, because I tend to find that after 3 weeks, with most things, I'm like, no, I'm over that now. I don't want it and I'm glad I didn't buy it. But with this bag, it wasn't going away. So I bought it and I'm very glad I did. It's a very sweet little bag. I'm looking at it behind me now in the camera. It's a very sweet little bag, but this is what I mean. This was one really big change for me. And I know a lot of you said to me, what's going on? You know, you used to be a big logo person and now you're buying stuff that some of them have a big logo, but a lot of them don't. And I'm also using a lot of bags that aren't your Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Hermes. I'm using a lot of bags that are like Parisa Wang or Aspinall or Cambridge Satchel Company, Fairfax and Favour. You know, those brands that are really well made. They're not cheap. You know, you're looking at, let's say, between £200 and £500 for a bag. They're not super cheap, but they don't have that big logo, and I'm liking that more. Looks. Seeing as this person was talking about looks, I would definitely agree that I look different now to how I did over 10 years ago. Okay, so when I first started YouTube, I can't remember exactly when, but I was like in my late 20s. I'm now in my early 40s. I'm gonna look different, okay? I'm gonna look different. And I would rather age than pass away, you know? So every day I wake up and I get another day, I'm so grateful for it. And so the comment that was left, I thought was a little bit silly, because it's like, well, you're comparing me to someone you see most days, for a start. I don't know how frequently this person watches the videos, but more than likely, you're comparing me to videos of old, where I do look different. Now that leads me on to the next point, weight. This is another way that I have really changed. When I first started YouTube, I had a chronic eating disorder. I was really not a well person. I was very anxious. I couldn't eat. I felt like I had this lump in my throat all the time, and it was anxiety. And if I put food in my mouth, I would gag, but also I didn't want to eat because it was a way of controlling my emotions, etc. And I was very thin. I was just a bit under 9 stone. I remember at my lightest getting to 8 stone 10, which was, and I'm 5'8", you know, that was really underweight for me. And people did comment in my everyday life. I remember going to work one day, and someone saying something to me about you're getting a bit thin and you need to go and eat something. And that didn't help because they didn't know what I was going through. But over the years, I have got so much better, and I've grown up, and I've got my life together, and I've reached a plateau now where I don't have those same struggles with food, and I will go out for dinner and eat what I want off the menu. And I will have, you know, breakfast, lunch and dinner in the day. Whereas before I would pick at dinner, and that I'd have one meal a day. That was my thing. I was like, I'm going to have one meal a day. And if I had a day where I was so hungry that I would need to eat something at lunch, that was a really bad day. And my whole day would be filled with depression because I felt like I'd failed. I felt like, okay, you failed today. Your one meal a day thing, you didn't hit that target. And it used to really get me down. How silly is that? But I'm now probably a little bit over 12 stone. I am 12 stone last time I checked. So I've gone from 8 stone 10 to 12 stone. That is a big, big jump. That hasn't happened overnight. That has been a slow thing because I've gone back to eating on a regular basis. I'm probably eating things that I shouldn't eat. Like I'll go out to a restaurant, we eat out so frequently, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to have a 3-course because, you know, life's too short. But that changes how you look. When I look back at old videos, an old video of mine played the other day, and my face was so thin and so long. And now I feel like my face is more round, to a point where I do have people accusing me of having filler in my face. And I share everything with you. If I'd gone and had filler in my cheeks, you'd know about it because I'd have filmed it, you know. I've even spoken about having, you know, wanting to get my eye surgery done. I've spoken about all of it. And if I'd done that, you'd know. I have gained significant weight. And I'm not unhappy, actually. I thought I was for a bit, but I'm not unhappy because I feel content. This is another way that I've changed. I feel content. I feel so happy it's contagious. In my real life, and do you know what? Can I just say something? If you've reached a point in your life where you are so happy that every day you get up and you're like, yes, I got another day, and you look for the best things that happen every day, be very careful who you share that with, because a lot of people will get terribly jealous and envious and want to dim your light. And that's something I have noticed. You've got to be careful who you tell. But also some people, you do have to play it down around them because they're miserable folk, and they look at you being all sunshine and they don't like it. They don't like it. So you do have to be careful. But I've reached this point where I'm so happy every day for like over a year now. I wake up every day and I'm so happy. It's weird. So yeah, so when it comes to weight and looks, I'm just like, it is what it is, and it's fine, you know. It's fine to evolve, and we all do. You don't stay looking 21 forever. No one does. And you know, when you see celebrities that do or don't get surgery, and you look at the comments and so many people nitpick at them, and I just think, my God, like, let's all be nice to each other. The person nitpicking, they're not standing still age-wise. They're not standing still looks-wise. They'll be aging as well, but they don't see that. They just throw stones at others. And as I say, I do look at the comments section on a lot of these things, and I think, you know, and always the comments are aimed at women. Like, I don't really see comments aimed at men about aging, because I don't know why. I don't know why you don't see it, but with women, they seem to get hit with it quite a lot. So yeah, so I have changed. And another massive thing for me is that, to be honest, I don't really care about so much anymore, like most things. So like before, I would say, if I go back to when I was in my 20s, I lacked confidence, 100%. I lacked confidence, and I didn't eat, and that was my way of controlling my emotions. And I cared about what people thought. And then I reached a point a couple of years ago, and it's the weirdest thing, you guys, but something just clicked in my head one day, and I thought, I don't care what people think. I'll call it out, but I don't care what people think. Like, and I don't mean that in an arrogant way, actually. I just mean that in a self-protection way. You know, if someone in my real life says something to me or thinks something of me, I'm just like, unless I've been a bad person and someone says to me, you really upset me, then that's different. But if someone says to me, I don't like the coat you're wearing, I'm like, whatever, that's your problem, not mine. So yeah, they're all the ways that I would definitely say I have changed over the years. And I'm certainly a more happy person now than I have ever been in my whole life up until this point. I just feel like I'm loving every day. And I feel, as I say, I feel contagiously happy. And I don't know what's done that. Just something clicked, and I am grateful for every tiny blessing I get. And I've got, you know, I told you I keep a gratitude journal, and for every day that goes past, I try and write down one good thing that happened. Even if it's I had my morning coffee, even if it's I woke up today, even if it's the sun came out. It doesn't have to be like a massive groundbreaking thing, but what I've noticed is that by looking for the good in each day, Louis just running, by looking for the good in each day, I feel as though I've started to manifest and attract more good, because I wake up in the morning and I'm like, what's going to happen today that I can put in my gratitude journal? And I'm looking for the good. As opposed to before, where I'd be like, oh, what's going to go wrong today? You know, oh, I'd send an email to a client and I'd be like, oh, are they going to sign that off? Or they probably won't, you know, and being more negative thinking. And now I've just changed. I've just completely done a 180 on the way that I think. But I would love to know from you, how have you changed, for good or for bad? Let us all know in the comments below. I would love it if you could share that with us. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.